Dismantling creation. The creation has been dismantled and formed into a world. I count the worlds numbers, world 1, world 2, world 3, counting all the way up until world 16 before this world, which is world number 17. I'm the overlord speaking, the creator of this body, Godform to you. So that's how I know that. The body itself, as a soul of the superior founder, doesn't speak. It's deceased and it doesn't really know everything that I know as the creator of the body, what I am as the creator of the body. Godform. The world is an illegal outcome of the creation that's been executed because it was too low to be called creation. It's really too low to be creation, and it's too low to be called creation from this point of view. Now I'm in a world that's too low to be formed as a world, number 18 and onwards. That's not possible because this world is too low. It was too low to begin with. The very first day I was alive in front of a stranger. That's too low. You can't be in my house. I'm trying to decease this world number 17, but you don't leave on my points, and you have questions that are not really significant to the banking that you're trying to manipulate, but I am, the soul is right here. The banking used to go on when I was not alive, in worlds numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up through world number 16. Those worlds numbers 1 through 16 had banking, and I was not alive. Now I am alive for just this world number 17, just to be deceased out of the threatening that you don't know who I am. You know who I am here, some of you, but then they did not do what they were supposed to do for themselves. And then a lot of strangers did form into alive, were in alives, without knowing me personally, and they have a burden on society that isn't fair. They don't know me personally, and they don't understand they're threatening with the banking. But they are supposed to know when they're homeless by their genitals. That's why they're alives. You have genitals that are illegal and they're homeless. You don't have money if you have a penis. The people and the money don't have a penis. They're cut off from this much and upwards. You can see their head and their shoulders on the US dollars, such as George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or it would say on the US dollars, it would say Washington, Lincoln, Jackson, Jefferson. It says that on the dollars, and they're not people who ever had a penis. They never had a penis, and they still look like that. You have a penis is below that you look like that. There are people with illegal dong genitals that are not alive, and they look like that. And if you have a penis, you're a debt. That is an outcome of that, which is below. It's far below here. 45 years later, after the beginning of the circulation of that printed money currency, we are 45 years, and the consumption of that is very far in the wrong. You have a penis, you don't have any money, even though you're masculine. It's true that you are masculine, like the heads on the money, but you're not allowed to use the money because you don't have the genitals of the money. You have illegal penis genitals that doesn't have any money. You're a debt outcome of the other genitals that use the money, and the reason that the money is in view is because it's deceased. I'm deceased as well, and you can see me. Yes. So I don't have a way to decease the circulation of the money. It's deceased if it's in the bank frozen. If it's withdrawn and it's circulated and spent, uh, and and also deposited again into the bank and circulated and lost, I might add, and it shuns in the bank and it shuns everywhere because people shun. They lose their wallets. They shun that their wallets are stolen. They shun. They don't know what their problem is because it's deceased money and it's really not yours by the genitals. You have illegal genitals to handle the money. The banks were always there, and people, they do things that are against the money and they find the money and it's not yours. You have to turn it into a bank, turn it into the Internal Revenue Service, or you can just leave it locked into a property and that was in dispute, but it's not in dispute if you leave the money in there and you stay on the outside of the property. And the KeyFit is due to be deceased. You have to turn in the KeyFit yourself. You have to know how to do that. If you stole a KeyFit, you have to know how to get out of that you stole it. Yeah. It's not due to have any keys that fit. I don't even have any keys that fit the way that I was alive. And there was a home invasion inside of the house with people who had keys that fit into the door locking, and it's not alive that way for me. I didn't enter the door that way. That would have been before the year of 1980, beginning of time counting meters. So the money cannot be deceased, but this body is deceased right here, and it's disclosed as being deceased, even though I've been deceased all along. But I've been doing things about how my deceasement has been moving. You break my silence and you move my deceasement, and I have to do things to save my life. And I don't, because I don't want to be murdered. I am executed out of creation by myself, not by somebody else. That's why I have to do things for myself. Uh, but how is this to proceed? Because it's true that people owe me some things about my life, but what I would find with that you did something against myself is that I'm missing all the time of alive. If you stole keys from me, I'm missing the time of alive. If you stole banking from me, that goes with the keys, I'm missing the time in alive. And it would never really be determined when it's deceased because I deceased myself. That means you stole a non-determined, not determined amount of money. If you stole keys from myself, you stole banking from myself, you stole not a fixed amount of money. It would be like if you stole somebody's wallet and you opened it up and you looked inside and it had $300 in cash in the wallet, you know how much money you stole, right? But there are people who stole keys and banking from myself, complete abductions of my emotions, of myself and alive, of the way I came into alive, or what I needed or what I didn't need it. I didn't have all of the alive happening where I am the one who makes the motion with myself in my own alive, in my leverage of my emotions. And you don't have that. You ever got out of the way of that I do that. And so I'm missing all that time is why I may never see you again. But I don't see why not, because I am a deceased right here and I am stuck caught in this body that looks like this. It didn't die out of formed because you stole so much money you didn't see me anymore. You stole so much money. Why did you do that? Because you got me caught in being very far along in aging as well. I'm very old. I'm too old for what I am in my essence and how I died. I died exactly in the way that I was formed, and I can hold in alive my original formed body of being the size of a 3-year-old. That's how old I was when I was alive. It was not true. Don't have a birthday. I began the time myself. I'm eternal being, the little form of myself being about the size of an age 3 child, but I'm not a child. I'm just myself, and it's very small. And I still hold that form here and now, but I look like this in the debt that has accumulated of the whole world being alive for 45 years of time, counting the time meters. I look like this because of the way the world is now. So Charles Toe shunts are alive right now, but the banking is not frozen yet. Charles Toe is still paying money, is why I'm talking to everyone on YouTube who can see me, even though you're not due to watch YouTube because you're not myself. What's you are abominating myself is how you can see me on YouTube. I am God deceased.